Well, hello, we're here for another tag. So glad you could join me. Let's get into this. I was tagged by Emily at M's Book Nook, and this is the last 10 books tag, and I'm really excited to do this one. All right, let's get into it. Question 1, the last book you didn't finish. House of Leaves. In my April Hopefuls, I talked about how I was reading House of Leaves with Ben at Ben Reads Books in his Discord, and that it would be my second time reading the book. But wow, I was having such a hard time getting into this book. like by April 13th or something, I was only on page 10. And I was just like, I can't do it. I think maybe it was too soon of a reread because it is a dense book. It is an experience to read House of Leaves. And I read it this time last year. So I just think it was, a little too soon to pick it up and read it again. I do vividly remember quite a lot, so I'll still be able to take part in a lot of the discussions going on, which I'm really excited about. But I was struggling, so I was like, it's just not my time to be rereading this. The last book you reread, it was gonna be House of Leaves, but now I don't know what the last book that I reread was. Oh, it would have been An Unkindness of Ghosts. I read it with Erica at The Broken Spine, and there was a huge Discord, there's live shows, there's discussions, all on her channel, so you can check that out if you have already read An Unkindness of Ghosts by River Solomon, or if you're thinking about it. We have a great time over there discussing it, and it was a wonderful time. The last book you bought. Ooh, I did a little book haul a little while ago. So I got The Living Blood by Tanana Reeve Dew, Afrofuturism by Yatasha L. Womack, and I'm reading that right now, loving it. Black Noir. Who edits that? Black Noir is a collection of thrillers and mysteries written by Black authors spanning a long time. I think the earliest one was written in sometime in the 1800s or early 1900s. And Bree at Locked Booktition talks about that one a lot, and I'm so excited to read through that one. And then The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, that one I'm also reading and absolutely loving it. Number 4, the last book you said you read but didn't. Oh boy, this is funny. Romeo and Juliet. So remember when I had that video where I talked about that I was homeschooled? I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but freshman year of high school, I went part-time to public high school, part-time online school, part-time homeschool where my mom was my teacher, and then part-time at the homeschool co-op. Did I say all that right? I think I did. A lot of school for a 13-year-old. But I did online English, and I just didn't care about it. And we had to read Romeo and Juliet, watch 2 versions of the movie, I think, or just the one with Leonardo DiCaprio. And then we had to write some essays and take a pop quiz, and I just didn't read it. I just didn't. I aced the test and I aced my essay, and I just kind of coasted through with my general knowledge of Shakespeare because I just have no interest to read Romeo and Juliet. Just of all of Shakespeare's work, I just don't care. I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's such a thing and such a trope now in a lot of stories and movies and stuff that I'm just I just don't care. But yeah, so haven't read Romeo and Juliet. The last book you wrote in the margins of, Afrofuturism, because I am annotating through it. The last book you had signed, I bought The Death of Vivek Oji by Akweke Emezi, and it was signed. That wasn't intentional. I just excitedly, on my birthday, went to my local bookstore, grabbed a copy, bought it, and then realized that it had a signed sticker, and I was like, oh, dope. So that's fun. 7, the last book you lost. I don't think I have lost a book in like recent years. I'm sure I lost books when I was a kid, for sure. But yeah, I can't think of any. Oh, I lost my French textbook in high school and then had to pay for it when I graduated. But that thing just like literally disappeared. Like whatever ancestor was around was like, you don't need to read that, and then just chucked it somewhere and we'll never find it. The last book you had an argument over? I don't think I've ever had an argument over a book. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've had like disagreements of like, well, I think this meant this, or oh, I think you could interpret it this way. I almost wanted to fight someone in the reviews because I read Class Act, which is a graphic novel about a boy who is, I believe he's biracial, and he goes to a predominantly white private school, and it's about his experiences going through that, and reading it just... I didn't go to a private school, but a lot of the things that he was experiencing, I had experienced, and I was just reading it and crying and telling my husband, oh my God, I experienced this, this happened to me, this happened to my sister. And then when I went to write my review, I saw a review that was like, this is so far-fetched, this would never happen, this has never happened to any child anywhere, the author took a lot of liberties, and this shouldn't be available for children. And I was just like, wow, what a comfy, privileged seat do you sit in? Whoa! Oh my gosh. Luckily, there are already tons of people trying to educate that person who left that very insensitive review. But that did make me want to fight. I was ready to go because I was like, how dare you read through that and not even recognize that this clearly doesn't cater to your experience, and just rate it 1 star and then say, oh, this would... Black kids aren't discriminated against. What are you talking about? Oh gosh. Okay. Ah! See, now I want to fight. Does that count? Okay. Last book you couldn't get a hold of. Okay, so my husband and I really like Jeff Vandermeer. He writes sci-fi, speculative fiction. He wrote Annihilation, that trilogy, and it got adapted into a movie, which is really good. But he has this short story collection called Third Bear, or The Third Bear, and we had been wanting to get a copy of it, but every time we searched, it was like $300, and we were like, not right now. Some other time when we can do that, sure. And then my husband was looking for it again on like his lunch break, and he found it, I think on like eBay or Amazon, for like $30 and bought it immediately. And we both read it, and it's absolutely amazing. Sorry. Okay, so there's a window, and there's people yelling outside, and there's a crazy old white man who lives in this building, and it looked like someone was approaching the window. No, it was just a car. We're good. But my heart skipped a beat there. Anyway, back to Third Bear. It was amazing. There were a couple short stories that I felt like were the beginnings of Annihilation, and also his book Born. And then it was like all of them were somehow connected. I don't know. It was really weird. I want to read it again. The stories kind of freaked me out, but they were so beautifully written and so imaginative. And like I noticed things that he didn't notice. And so we're both going to reread it at some point and talk about it again. And then I really want to reread Annihilation and Born. Yeah. Okay. So that was the end of the tag. That was so much fun. Thank you, Emily, for tagging me. I will tag Uniquely Kimmy, at Read Love Listen, Britt Reiterly, Books with Bonnie, and She Was Only an Evie. I am so excited to hear your guys' answers. I think this is a really fun tag. And yeah, so this was fun. Thank you so much for tagging me, and thank you for watching.